So we haven't posted in a while, and sometimes things just don't work out with YouTube videos we make. So today we're going to be showing you a couple of those videos. Hey guys, Mike here from Envy Creative. So we haven't posted in a little while, and that's because sometimes YouTube videos just don't really work out. We like to try a lot of different things here at Envy Creative, and again, sometimes when we're making those things, either the idea that we thought was really cool just doesn't work out, or the product that we're testing and making a video to show you guys changes something at the very last minute and it doesn't work out. So today we're going to show you two of those YouTube videos that we had in progress, that we almost had finished, and just didn't work out for one reason or another. So a while ago we made a video showing how that you can put a filter on your face to make you look older, and we were using this app on iOS called FaceApp. And the thing is, a little while after that, they actually removed this functionality from the app. We got a lot of comments letting us know about this, so we wanted to try to find a different way to be able to do this. We know there are a lot of other paid options out there that you can do, but we wanted to try to find a free option for the community so they could use it without having to pay for it. And we did find one. It's called SwapFace, and it works pretty well for a free application. So we did a whole video on how to use it and the different ways that you can use it. Unfortunately, right when we were about done with the video, we got an email from the company saying that they're moving to a paid model. Now, you still can use it for free to test it out, and there are some limitations like a watermark, but you can definitely still try it out. One of the good things about this app is they are continually coming out with updates, and if you email the developer or you go on their Discord channel, you can also ask for updates or give your input on feature requests. So when you open the app for the first time, you're going to have to create an account with them using an email and password. And then from there, it's pretty straightforward, but there are a few things to keep in mind that we've had to troubleshoot along the way to make it work well for us. So on the Videos tab on the left side, you're going to upload the video file with the face that you want to replace. But later on, we're going to show you how to use this with videos that have two or more faces. And then on the right side of the screen, you're going to upload a photo with a face that you want to replace it with in the video. So one of the things we had to troubleshoot early on is we were trying to upload high quality and high resolution faces to the right side. And after some conversations with the developer, we found out that they don't allow high resolution faces quite yet. But right now your image actually has to be 800 pixels or below. So you can easily do this in Photoshop, but you can also do it in Previewer if you're on a Mac, or you can do it in Paint if you're on Windows. So before you process, you do have a couple different choices. You have normal MP4 and MP4 HD. Now, we've tried both of them, and we actually just go with HD. We've tried the MP4 and the HD, and we really couldn't see a difference between the two when it comes to replacing the faces. Now, there are different modes that you can choose from, and this is where some of the differences come into play. The default is fast mode. Now, from what we found, this actually does give us the best results because it's not quite as clean as the other modes. It does keep a little bit of the imperfections and just a little bit of blur to make it look realistic. Now, as of this video, they are coming out with different modes and different features and different updates as we speak. Even this morning, we just updated the app to the newest version and it has a couple new features. So just keep this in mind when you're going through the app. So once your video is done, it's going to be saved to the folder where you got the video if you direct it that way. And now you can open it up and you can see what it looks like. As you can see, for a free app that does export HD video, it does a pretty good job and pretty seamless job of replacing the faces. Now, a couple things to keep in mind when you're doing this that we, again, have found out by trial and error, and we've also checked with the developer. One thing is, it doesn't really do a good job, if at all, of replacing hair. So for instance, if you have a face that you want to replace in a video, that face in the photo, it won't take the hair into consideration. And if it does, it's very, very minimal. So if the photo has, say, gray hair, it's not going to change the hair on the subject in the video. The developer said they don't have any plans on making this a feature, but hopefully enough people will ask that maybe they will make it a feature. Another thing to keep in mind is you do want to try to have the person in the video that their face is going to be replaced with be facing the camera or at least be not fully profiled to the camera throughout the video. It can do this, but if, say, somebody is facing away from the video and then they turn around, there may be a delay as to when the face replacement grabs onto the face in the video. You also want to make sure that there's good lighting on the person's face in the video so that the software can see them correctly. Now, the way that we found out how to do this with 2 or more people is, again, you have to redo the workflow. So for instance, the first export could be with one face, and you would choose another face in the video with another face that you uploaded. We think it's a really easy way to dive into deepfaking and face swap for production, and we really hope that the devs continue to update it with more features along the way. So now what we use to actually make ourselves look older is, again, we go back to FaceApp that we've shown off in the previous video. We bring a face from our actors into that, and now since SwapFace only needs a photo, we can just use the normal photo filter to make them look old from there. Then we just export it from there and get it back onto our computer. So as you can see, SwapFace is actually a really cool product, but again, throughout the whole video, we were talking about how it's a free solution, and since they changed their pricing model, that's not the case anymore. So it didn't really work out to finish up that video the way that we wanted. Before we keep going, even though these videos didn't really work out, we actually do put a lot of time and effort into researching and to doing these videos. So if you have any questions about either one of these videos, feel free to leave them in the comments, and feel free to like this video if you did like it, and subscribe if you want to see more content. We also post on our Instagram and our BTS YouTube channel every day to show you behind the scenes of what we do here at Envy, so feel free to follow us on Instagram or go subscribe to the other BTS channel. The other video idea that we had an idea for was to kind of replace a car rig, which means those big rigs that you have on cars that hold the camera in a gimbal position so that you can get those really cool sweeping shots. So what we thought would be a equally cool idea and a lot less expensive would be to put our DJI Osmo camera on the back of an electric scooter with a pole attached to it, because the DJI Osmo is a gimbal camera, and so we thought it would be cool to get some sweeping shots and some gimbal shots while riding the electric scooter. So what we're gonna do is we actually got one of these on Amazon. So this is actually a seat for an electric scooter. You can see it has an attachment right here, and that goes on the electric scooter. It also has a seat. Now, we're not gonna use the seat because we're gonna be mounting a camera to it. So this is actually how it comes assembled, but unfortunately what we found is it doesn't stretch quite far enough over to get there. We're actually going to take one of these completely off, and then we're also going to take off this one. Now you might need a wrench or a pair of pliers to be able to hold this in place. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna move this, and we're going to put it right there. We still want it to be secure, but we also need plenty of room to be able to move this. This is gonna come out the back of this, and it's actually going to almost touch where it was, just right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on, we're gonna measure it, and basically you just want to get it as secure as possible, as far back as you can, because remember, you're still going to be standing right here. You're going to lock that in place. You're just going to make sure that this is also screwed down back here. Now for this, we're going to be using the DJI Osmo Pocket 2. Not only is it small, lightweight, and it has a gimbal on it so you can get those smooth shots, we're actually going to be having one of our crew members remotely on this on their phone so they can actually see what's being shot, and they can control it if they need to, because one person will need to be driving the scooter. We're going to find out a way to mount a tripod or a monopod right here. I'm going to be looking through here, finding what works and what doesn't. So in this part, you can see that if you unlock this, this just comes right out. So we're gonna see if we can get something to fit in here, or if not, if we can get something to fit in here. I think it might be a trial and error sort of thing. We didn't really find anything that fits perfectly in here. We have a couple other monopods, and we have a couple other mounts, and as well as we tried to use a light stand, and none of those really worked. So we're actually going to just put this in here. We're just gonna get this guy, and we're going to hot glue this onto here. Put as much hot glue as it will take. Make sure you're using the highest strength hot glue you can. All right, and then we're going to put this in here. just put it in as far as it will go. Okay, and then now that that's snug, do one more layer. We're gonna let that dry for a minute. So this is all dry. We're gonna put this in here. We're gonna go as low as we can because we have a pretty good length up here. So depending on what kind of monopod you have, you can put one of these small mounting plates on it that has a little rotating ball head, so that if you put that on there and you put your camera on, you can actually rotate it around if you need to. So we're gonna do that for our build, but if you just have a normal tripod mount up here, you can actually just put your camera right on there if you don't need to make micro adjustments. So now we have the camera on here. It is going to be just a little bit shaky, but that's okay because we are using one with a gimbal. All right, so it's been really rainy outside recently, so we're just gonna be practicing on this stretch. If we put the tilt lock setting on, it tends to work a little bit better just because it's not searching for Kyle. And basically what tilt lock does is it makes it so that it doesn't go back and forth and tilt like this. So we did one without stabilization. The stabilization one still looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna lower this closer to the ground so it shouldn't be wobbling quite as much, and that'll be our third test, because for normal commercials, we're probably not gonna be up high. We're probably going to be a little bit lower for when we're capturing the product. As you can see, going a little bit lower does help with the stability a little bit. Now, these were just test shots. If you can see outside, you can see that it's a lot of brick path, and we're gonna be filming actually on the road or on a sidewalk, so it's gonna be a lot smoother. We're not gonna get all of those micro bumps. Tomorrow, we're gonna be filming with this on one of our commercials, and we'll show you the results from that. The testing didn't come out as good as we'd hoped, so we thought that we would take what we learned there and apply it to when we actually went to film our commercial with it. Unfortunately, even when we went to go film our commercial with it, the footage didn't come out the way we wanted. We thought that it would be a lot smoother, especially at higher speeds, but every single time we tried it, it just didn't look the way that we wanted. For our final product, we ended up having to use our drone because that can actually get really good sweeping shots. Thankfully, in this video, there wasn't any audio, so we didn't have to worry about sound, but the way that we wanted to do it didn't really work out in the end. So yeah, sometimes on YouTube, you try different things, you hope it works out really well, but for some reason or another, you don't really get to that point where you feel that you can publish it knowing full well that either something didn't work out information-wise or something just didn't work out with your idea. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. And if you have any questions about these videos or the YouTube creation content in general, feel free to let me know, and we'll catch you on the next one.